Mayor Neal, you're on.
All right, and welcome to the Shots at the Shop orientation. I'm Omar Neal, and of course, I will be one of the hosts for today. I'm former mayor of Tuskegee, as well as the host of You Got the Power radio talk show. And today we're going to be talking about the vaccine, what's happening with the booster shot, our consideration for getting our children now vaccinated now that the Pfizer and is now prepared to give our children vaccines all over the country. We're going to talk about Moderna now has the booster, Go Ahead, and of course the J&J. So we're going to talk about all of that and what it means to you to get vaccinated to protect yourself and your family. And with no further ado, I'm going to introduce my sidekick, the one who wears the hat all the time, none other than Dr. Stephen Dr. T. Thomas. Hey, man, what's up?
Omar, you too much, man. That's amazing. It's so good to see you. And what great news. We got approvals coming down the pike for young people. We got approvals to mix and match. And yet we still got an uphill climb. But right where we are, Omar, we are making progress in bringing the vaccine to people right where they come for their haircuts and their personal care. And on Monday, November 1st coming up, we will have our second Needles and Arms vaccine clinic at the Shop Spa right there with Mike Brown. Hey, Mike, can you remember? It was May 17th.
Absolutely.
May 17th when we caught fire and
Absolutely.
the whole thing started. And here we are back in your shop on Monday, and then we'll be in Temple Hills on the 15th. But how's it going there at the shop?
Things are going well. We're excited. We're getting prepared for Monday, and we're expecting a great turnout and get people vaccinated.
So Omar, we are reaching out to the folk on the Hell No wall, especially those who have not been vaccinated at all. And if anyone's reading the paper, you can see there's heated discussion about the anti-vaxxers pushing against everything we're doing. So as people come in from Georgia and Florida and Texas, around the country, we want to hear what you're facing in your locale and how you're making progress to get people from vaccine hesitancy to vaccine confidence.
You know, Dr. T, let me tell you something. I've got to the point now, I think we need to just kind of tell people, to not be vaccinated in the middle of a pandemic is analogous to being a pitchfork fight and you the only one don't have one. Right. It gets to the point that, people are being, having fun with this. This is not any play games. And I am concerned about this, and I will bring Dr. Ritter on with this too, is that this notion that somehow we're doing better because of the hospitalization rates are going down and the death rates are going down and people are now celebrating that. And this is the same thing that happened before, spiking the ball before we get in the end zone, right? Before spiking the ball too soon. If you are not vaccinated, you are still vulnerable, just as vulnerable as you were before. So it's not about whether or not, there's, because the virus hadn't quit. We can quit, but the virus is not quitting. Right? And so what we need to do is to make sure that everyone's vaccinated. Do you think, Dr. Ritter, that sometimes, and let me introduce our resident doctor, Dr. Carol Ritter. She's been with us for the whole time. And so whenever we need to kind of hear about things from the medical perspective, we have our medical doctor right. We're here with us, Carol Ritter. Hey, Dr. Ritter, can we spike the ball too quickly?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I think I'm not going to use a football metaphor, even though I'm originally from Green Bay. But I use the Russian roulette analogy because a lot of these people are coming out of their bubbles now. You know, they were living in their communities where they felt safe and they didn't get it. But now it's a year and a half out, and now I'm seeing coming in, and I like, you know, you're walking outside and there are bullets out there because this virus is endemic. And, you know, even though the numbers are going down now, people are getting more relaxed with, you know, taking their mask off in public because they're assuming there's other people out there who are vaccinated. And it's going to be the holidays. They're going to want to hug and kiss. And, you know, I was just saying before this all started that we're seeing an increase in deaths in people who weren't vulnerable before, younger,
Right.
and the pregnant women. There's something happening there because those numbers are going rocketing sky high. So the virus is changing, and we're all playing. If you're not vaccinated, you're going to get it. It's just
Well, that's what they say, you know, you're going to get it one way or the other. You're going to get it where you have some protection, or you're going to get it without protection. But you're going to get it one way or the other because it's just that.
And you don't know if
prevalent.
you get it with unvaccinated, whether you got to wait for 5 days to determine whether you're going to be the ones that go onto the, you know, really seriously ill or die. So for 5 days, you're sitting there kind of like in purgatory, you know, like wondering, am I going to get sick or am I going to die or what? It's
And,
a
you know,
weird place to be.
it's a scary thing. One thing about this virus, and we talked about it, you can literally contract the virus and in 14 to 21 days be in a casket. That's, I mean, if something is that, a docket, is that not sobering to you? We've not seen anything that have taken people, not AIDS, not anything have taken people out as quickly as COVID-19. And why people aren't taking it seriously, I don't know.
Yeah, it's a respiratory virus. So this is something that's relatively, you know, new, that people don't recognize the difference between AIDS and a respiratory virus. Or, you know, measles was a respiratory virus. And so, you know, we had to deal with that, but that was, you know, years ago, and people have forgotten. Although we did have an outbreak not too long ago in Disney World, you know, and you know, those outbreaks still happen when the unvaccinated come out of their pockets.
And Omar, I was on a town hall with at Georgetown Law School, and one of the presenters was a former Obama administration member in the AIDS task force, Greg Millett, and he did a side-by-side HIV/AIDS COVID, and what he showed was that you're absolutely right. The number of people who've died to date. Help me, Dr. Ritter. 700? Are we at 730,000?
730,000 right about now, the last number I got.
All right. You compare that in the time period that has happened and what has happened over the course of the AIDS epidemic, it's dramatic. The speed is dramatic, and somehow that's not resonating. You know, the sense of urgency is not resonating, but that's why the mandates are important. I've got people calling now saying, I wasn't going to get vaccinated, but I got a job. I need to keep getting paid. And so mandates give people a reason to break out of that, whatever bubble they're in, to say, I still believe in you, but I got to go get vaccinated. We don't have to have people change their worldview to get vaccinated.
Well, the other thing is too, and I think it's important to note, all of our lives we've been vaccinated, and most of our lives we've not had options. If you went to school, you had to get your vaccination, right? I mean, so this whole notion of mandatory vaccination is not a new concept. In fact, it's very, you know, well established that if you're living in a public space, then you need to protect the public. That's what this public health thing is all about. And I think sometimes we conflate individual health with public health. Your individual health and what you do if you have cancer or not to get treated, yeah, that's may be the case because that's not transmissible, right? But when you're talking about something that's transmissible and highly transmissible, like this Delta variant, you're not just talking about yourself, you're talking about the public health. And that's where we are our brother's keepers as it relates to that. That's why we have to make things mandatory so that we can protect the public.
And what's happening, Omar, Dr. Ritter, everybody who's listening, in those states, Georgia, Florida, Texas, there's a list of them, they're changing laws right now that will impact exactly what you've said, the ability of public health to actually protect the public. They're changing laws in the name of COVID that have implications for other diseases down the road. We got to pay attention to this.
Yeah, it's interesting. I was just hearing about some students at Auburn who are using Tuskegee as the basis for their not wanting to have vaccine mandates. And it's oftentimes I say, please don't use Tuskegee as a reason not to get vaccinated. It is out of context. And let me say this again for those, since we're on Facebook Live. And I'm the former mayor of Tuskegee. I live in Tuskegee right now. I'm sitting in Tuskegee today. Let me tell you this. In 1932, 632 men were placed into a study. The study was then called the United States Public Health Service study that focused on syphilis for African American men. From 1932 to 1972, the study went forth. In the late 40s, penicillin was readily made available and known to be the cure for syphilis. During that time, they could have easily treated the men with the penicillin. In fact, the men would have loved to have been treated with the penicillin. Over 100 of them died from syphilis complications. Do you know that when you deny yourself the vaccine based on the Tuskegee, as they call experiment, but the United States Public Health Service study conducted in Tuskegee, you are technically doing to yourself what the government did to those men. And 3 of those men were my family members. I had an uncle, a great uncle, and a cousin. And so don't die because of a lie. That's not the case.
Mm-hmm.
Don't die because of a lie. That could be a tagline.
Right. Hey, Aaron, what's happening, man?
Hey, how you doing?
Doing great. We are not just in our bubble now. We're out on the Facebook Live, and so
Okay.
hey, man, I want to introduce you to a broader audience.
All right, that sounds good. Yeah, thank you guys for continuing this. I'm a fan. I'm a participant, but I'm a fan.
Absolutely, man. So this notion, and this is what I was talking to Dr. Ritter about, is this notion of we are seeing these numbers going down, and there are people who are letting their guards down, and that's when every time we do that, the spike happens right after that. You notice that? And unvaccinated people feel that when everybody else is going about their business, they can go about their business, although they are not protected. And that's dangerous.
Mm-hmm. I was actually in a gas station today, one of a very popular chain here. Quick Trip is what it's called. And signs right on all the windows that says mask required. And so I'm in line, and not a lot of people wearing their masks. So I asked the young man who was one of the cashiers, I said, are you guys not even going to enforce your policy? He said, we were told not to. And there was no other words that I can say. I said, well, that's just really unfortunate. Not to make this political, Quick Trip, the owners of Quick Trip, and they're building these Quick Trip on every single corner now, it seems, but they are huge Donald Trump supporters. Again, I'm not trying to make this political, but when you have an organization that has hundreds of thousands of people coming through the door, and they were told not to enforce their policy, it's not a place that I can do business at anymore.
Yeah.
Aaron,
part of the problem is that, Doc, you wanted to say something?
I just have Aaron. We have a larger audience here. Aaron, just introduce yourself and where you are for the Facebook fans out there.
Yeah, thank you. Aaron Perry, Rebalance Life Wellness Association based out of Madison, Wisconsin.
Yeah. The part of it is this: we have to protect ourselves. If we see where businesses are not being responsible, right, then we have to, like Aaron says, we have to kind of go where people are responsible, right? Because this whole notion of this Delta variant, and Dr. Ritter mentioned it earlier, we can even see another variant come that could very well elude the protection we have. That's why it's so important that we are robust in getting people in our families and our friends and coworkers to get them vaccinated so that we can stay safe with the protection that we have, and that's critically important. And so what I'm going to do is somebody will say something.
Katrina, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just getting ready to give a little testimony about having a conversation with one of my cousins today that has multiple myeloma, just like Colin Powell had. So I called her and I was explaining to her how important it was for her to get vaccinated. And she's still hesitant to get vaccinated. So she told me at the end of that conversation, I don't want to ever have this conversation with you again. I don't believe I should be vaccinated. God got me. And I said, girl, we have these conversations all the time. I said, you have to protect yourself. I said, don't look at the age of Colin Powell. Look at what you have. You have a bone cancer. If COVID come up against you, you may not make it. She said, well, it's people that's not making it that's already vaccinated. I said, but still, you should protect yourself. You work at a barbershop. You have to go out in the community every day. You should protect yourself. So she was really angry with me at the end of that call. And I said, okay, well, I won't ask her about getting vaccinated again. I just told her, just protect yourself.
You didn't tell her about Monday?
I told her about Monday and she got mad at me about Monday. I said, come on to the clinic and get vaccinated, but she refused to. So I said, like he said, we have to try to protect ourselves and protect our loved ones as well. But what do you do when you have a conversation with somebody like that?
This is one thing that I do know. Not only does the creator prepare the speaker, he simultaneously prepares the listener.
Yes.
Because you said it, it will resonate at some point. Now, when people say the Lord got me, the Lord got 730 people.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? 730,000 people who died from COVID, 730,000, right? And so the Lord can very well have those people in another realm because they died prematurely. So I think that it's important, and this is not the only case. There are multiple cases where people, in fact, when I talk to physicians, as soon as people are get COVID and get severe COVID and get ready to be intubated, what they normally say is, "Can I get the shot now?"
Right.
Right. That's when they want the shot, when it's too late. And so, and there are multiple examples of people who wanted to get the shot. And one of the things, and we do know that there are breakthroughs, and we do know that there are occasions by which people who are vaccinated, who have other underlying conditions, die. But the vast majority of people who die, when I say vast, I'm talking about significantly the number of people who die are unvaccinated from COVID. And so you're doing a cost benefit analysis. Do you want to protect yourself so that you can live in the event that COVID comes upon you? And and I think that's what we need to be able to tell people.
Yes.
Not necessarily that this is, this, nobody said it's 100%, but I was a police officer. I wore a bulletproof vest. Somebody shoot you in the leg or the head or something, that didn't protect you, but we wore our bulletproof vests anyway.
That's a great analogy.
We need good analogies.
You see what I'm saying? And so we need to be able to tell people, the truth. And we need to, as we used to say, Mike, we put it where the cows can get it.
And if it's all right, if I speak the Stacey.
Hey, Aaron Perry, let me tell you this. You're a part of this team. So whenever you want to speak,
and
permission granted.
He's from Wisconsin, so he knows cows too.
That is correct. I never tipped any over. I hear that's a hobby, but I've never did that.
I've done that.
Yeah, I just wanted to speak to Stacy. Stacy, I applaud you for having that conversation.
Katrina did that.
Yeah, it was Katrina.
Okay, Katrina, I applaud you for having that conversation with your friend. I would say continue to have that conversation with her and just let her know you love her too much to not have the conversation with her. It may not work for weeks, but maybe she'll come around eventually. I just will continue to have that conversation because, you know, it's sad when people are on their deathbed and if you have an opportunity to look at them, you know what they're thinking. I had my opportunity and I didn't take it, you know. So I would just encourage you to keep having that conversation.
I definitely will, because that's one thing I don't want to hear her say. I
Mhm.
should have listened to you, you know?
Right,
So-
absolutely. Yeah, but you know, continue to pray for her and also continue to tell her that, you know, I love you too much. Aaron did that with his brother until he got vaccinated. And so we have to be persistent. We have to save the people's lives that we love. That's what we're doing. For those people who are vaccinated, who continue to come out and try to get other people vaccinated, we're trying to save lives. That's all this is about.
That's all it's about.
Trying to infringe upon your rights. This is about saving your life because we know some things and we've seen some things. I know we know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two.
That's
right?
true.
You know what I mean? So that's why we want to save lives. Bring up Chris Sherlock, and I see that he's driving. I don't know. If
You be safe, Chris Sherlock.
You know, we don't want you hooked. We don't want to hook you.
How's everyone doing? Nice to see everyone.
Good to see you, man. What's going on? How you doing out there? Keep
All
your
is
eyes
going-
on the road. We can see you.
yeah,
That's
we
right.
got
You
it.
just keep.
We got it. All is going well. Just left Baltimore City. Got some really, really good pictures. We had the University of Maryland team. We had Miss Soraya there with us, taking some really good pictures. Got a chance to see what we did in shop. And the thing that really made me proud today is to not have any really advance notice that I was coming there, and to come into those shops and to see our literature posted everywhere. That was just an amazing feel to actually see our work paying off and circulating in the community. It's just a surreal experience to really see all the different phases of this project and how we are now building momentum on in multiple states, multiple areas, and we're just really out there paving the way. I'm feeling fortunate right now because I'm going to go get my booster tomorrow, and I'm glad that they have those available. For the majority of the people right now to get. A little disheartened, just still off of some of the hesitancy. I walked in one of the shops and the owner wasn't there. His manager was there, and I was talking to him. At first, we asked him to take a picture with the jumbo, a photo with it, and his response to me was, do you think I'm the guy for it? I'm not even vaccinated. And I had to stop and ask him, sort of like, what's the hesitance? He really couldn't give me an answer aside from the fact that he just didn't want to do it. He just didn't feel comfortable with it. So, just glad to really be able to see the different looks of it and just to be out there in the community.
Yeah. Well, one of the things that thanks, Chris. One of the things that I think is important to note is that when people are saying that they don't want to be vaccinated and they can't tell you why, and after they're seeing so many people die from this virus, then one has to ask yourself, do that person really understand the danger that lurks? And that's why it's so important for us to truly not through being judgmental or blaming and shaming, as Dr. T says, but we really do need to stop and say, do you really understand the decision that you're making could very well cost you your life? Right? This is not an academic exercise. This is literally life and death. And as Dr. Ritter say, you are literally playing Russian roulette with your life.
Yes.
And that's why it's important to understand this, the importance of this. And so we don't need to apologize for trying to save the lives of the people we love. Right? Don't apologize. The many times that I've talked to people who have talked to people about getting vaccinated and they didn't get vaccinated, and those same people had to make funeral arrangements for those people that didn't get vaccinated. That's a hard thing to do, to feel the guilt of maybe I should have been more assertive in dealing with this, right? You don't want to live a life of regret when it comes to people whom you love. So, you know, we know what this is about. And just as if a person is getting ready to get run over by a car, we will snatch them back to save their lives. And hopefully they can appreciate it later.
And just really quickly, just to touch on that point, the people, and I want to frame this correctly. The majority of a lot of people who I've spoken to who are tasked with that very challenge of saving lives. Surprisingly, I have a buddy who's on the DC Fire Department, and he is one of the board members against the vaccination. I have another friend who's on the DC Police Department, and I was talking to him. And he said, "Don't you know it's a split right now between people who are vaccinated and who are not vaccinated?" And it appalled me that the ones who are saving lives, they and I asked him why. He said, "Man, we police officers, man. We out there, we fighting crime, like we tough guys. We don't need vaccines. You're with the public. You're protecting the public." It just baffles me. It really does.
Let me say this, Chris. I'm a police officer too. In fact, I train police officer for a living, right? COVID-19 has killed more police officers than shootings, car accidents, or any other thing. COVID-19 has killed. Let me look you in the eye and tell you. COVID-19 has killed more police officers than any incident that they have in shootings from citizens, any car accident they have, anything else, even other health issues. COVID-19 has killed more people combined, police officers. So when people say, because I'm a police officer saving lives, the first life you ought to save is your own, right? So, you know, that's so when people think about it, when, you know, the first thing you do, and I talk to police officers, when they come into a place, I say the first person you have to get into control of is not the suspect, but yourself, right? That's the first thing. So we need to learn to be an example for other people. And as law enforcement officers, we are supposed to be an example for the community. And I think to protect yourself is part of that. So yeah, that's good. Man,
you know,
thanks for you always bring some good stuff, man, to the table. Hey, Sharon Cooper, how you doing?
Hello, how are
I
you?
want to bring you on, bring Sharon up, and
Yes,
let me holler at her.
Yeah, spotlight Sharon.
Hey, Sharon.
Hello.
I love
how
your
are you?
I love your Terp color, Sharon.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, tell us what's going on.
Well, I find that there are a lot of people who are hesitant still. And even with the knowledge that it's being presented and the availability of these shots in the community, you still have people who are hesitant. And when you look at various data sets, whether it's from, you know, the university or the hospital or public health data, it's concerning because you have zip codes that have great percentages as far as vaccination rates in Prince George's County, but then you have other zip codes that do not. And a lot of times we all know that data tells us what's happening, but we want to get to the bottom, why is this happening? And these forums like this and these platforms allows us to exchange information to address those particular issues and underlying problems that are preventing people from going in to being exposed to the information and leading them to vaccinations, to better outcomes, better quality of life, and the ability to be able to live the life that they're intended to live. So it's very concerning, but it's promising.
Sharon, you got 730,000 people who died from COVID, right?
Yes.
People, just about everyone knows someone in their family or in their community, someplace who died from COVID. Why don't people get it that you are not invincible, that you can die from COVID too?
And that's the key. And I agree with you, especially you think, again, people think they're invincible and it's not going to impact them. For some reason, they think they have this sort of shield. And I just can't explain it. And even in speaking with them, they are protected. And, don't you think they always use religion. And I too am religious, but I think, the information provided, I think you look at it in terms of, this is God's way of trying to get us in the right direction.
Well, God also has his hand on scientists and public health people and all of those other people to influence us. We can be religious and still have a heart transplant. I mean, you have a lot of religion, right? You see what I'm saying? So just being religious don't mean that somehow you don't protect yourself. I mean, God gives you everything to protect yourself. This is part of it, is to live.
Exactly. I totally concur. Open-minded. I ask people to be open-minded.
I
love it.
Hey, Omar, let me say this. Just reminding people and sharing, we've opened up to a broader audience. We're streaming live on Facebook. I want people to know that Sharon Gibbs Cooper has been instrumental in helping our barbers and stylists here in Maryland become certified community health workers. Let's give her some snaps.
Let's give her some snaps. Love you.
My pleasure.
She is the one that figured it out. They make it like a labyrinth, like a maze. And Sharon literally walked our people through the whole process. This is a shout out to everyone listening. What are the guidelines to become community health workers in your state, be it Georgia, Florida, Texas, wherever you may be in the country? And Omar, let me say this. It's not just the message. It's also the messenger. So when Chris Sherlock shows up unannounced, it's not just anybody showing up. But what an amazing moment when he walked into the place and it had all the literature laid out nicely. The owner was ready and promoting vaccination information. Like we say, give people the information they need, let them make the right decision. And then to be able to capture all that today on video and still images. What we want to do, folks, is lift up the great work that you're doing out in your respective communities. Yeah. And share it with the world.
So we want you to hang out with us more often, Sharon Cooper, right? You need to hang out with us, right? This
Definitely.
Is what we do.
Right? I'm there on Saturday, Dr. T. I'm there.
Yeah, we'll be at the festival. I'll show the festival, and then we'll be actually Needles and Arms on Monday. Hey, Omar, we need to get a pulse beat here.
Let's get a pulse beat. Let's see what people are thinking, and this is how you do it. Whatever your thoughts are for those people who are on Facebook Live, you just put in the chat box how you're feeling. What word best describe how you're feeling now? For those of you who are on our Zoom call, you just put it into the chat box, just how you are feeling right now. And when we come back, we'll tell you exactly when to hit return, but just start putting those words in. We're going to try to get as many words in as we possibly can to get a kind of collective. We're going to do a word cloud and get a collective of how we're feeling collectively, right?
That's right.
But that's going to be really important. Let me do this.
Let me just say this.
Yeah,
let me just say this. Just put the words in. Don't hit return yet. Just keep putting the words in while we're talking, and then we'll count down and we'll hit return all at the same time. Go ahead, Omar.
Yeah, I just said that.
Yeah, but they're hitting return already. Don't hit return yet.
Okay, don't hit return yet. Okay.
And put in as many words as possible. Go
Bring
ahead.
Andre Russell up.
Go ahead. Go ahead,
Andre Russell is in at the ATL.
Yeah, in Atlanta. Yeah.
Well, that's the ATL, man.
Yeah,
Everybody
yeah, that's true.
that knows what ATL is, right? Now you want to call it, you want to get proper on me. This is
No,
it,
no.
right?
No, you've got the degrees. You're fine.
Hey man, what's going on?
Not a whole lot. It's just I'm hearing more and more things. I was interested in what this Cooper was saying about how to get the people designated as motivators or whatever it was. I sort of missed it.
Certified community health workers. Yes.
There you go. And I'm interested in that because every time I talk to a new barber or a new owner, they're not familiar. It's not as pronounced here as I thought it would be. I'm still getting a lot of new stuff going on here. And I'd like to figure out how to do this more because, I've got lots of time. I don't cut hair. I just
tell them a little bit about who you are, Andre, and about your barbershops and where you're located and all that.
Well, I've got some shops here in Atlanta. The main vibe is the shop that we have inside the airport. And I keep getting promises from you guys that are passing through Atlanta that you're going to stop at the airport.
I told you when we come to Atlanta, we can't come through there without coming by to see you, Andre.
Well, I was going to say, because you really can't get through the airport without seeing our shop. So unless you're an international flyer, that's the only way to pass us by. But we had some difficulties at first, and Dr. T, you had to get in contact with one of our health departments here in order for them to say, oh yeah, we can do that, because at first they wouldn't allow me to do it in the malls. So in some of my mall locations. So, but Dr. T got right on it. And the next thing I know, the radio stations and CBS and everybody wanted to come down. Of course, they never showed up, but the fact is we got a lot of attention. And now we're doing some stuff with Emory University, and they're coming out bi-weekly to do, what they call it is a hypertension at the shop. So they're sending out people and they're taking blood pressure and stuff, and they're still calling it the silent killer. And of course, they put emphasis on it being a predominantly Black type thing, which of course is kind of true. But anybody can die of high blood pressure nowadays. But from that, what I'm saying is we're getting more attention, and that's what I keep trying to say. I'm not trying to get too diverse, because the shots are still very important. And however, I don't mind telling people about hypertension. Of course, they send people out to talk about that. It's not that.
Well, I think we need. I think
yes.
One is I think we need to be holistic, obviously, but the more present issue is to deal with the shots, because we do know that the long-term challenges we have is to deal with all of the other comorbidities that we have in the African-American community and health disparities. And those are things we need to get to. That's where Sharon's helping us with those kinds of things as well. We got Fred Spry. Hey, Fred, we can't let you just hop on and not say hello to the people. We're now not just within our bubble. Now we're out on Facebook Live. So hello to everybody from Fred Spry.
Hello. Greetings, everyone. Greetings.
Hey, now, Fred, that accent you have, man, that, I know people tell you they just love that accent, right?
I thought I had a proper one, brother. Let me fix it up real quick.
He's gonna be on stage on Saturday at the Big Festival. And
That's right.
if you walk into Fred's shop, you'll see the posters, the QR codes. Everybody knows what time it is when you walk into his space. And guess what, Omar? They feel safe. They feel safe.
Yeah.
They feel safe. They can bring their kids to get haircuts for the holidays coming up. People want to know, can I come to your place of business and be safe? And
That's right.
Our barbers are going to be able to say yes.
Yes.
Right. Fred, what you're thinking about now, and we've talked about it. Sharon mentioned it, and others mentioned it. Is the frustration of getting people to understand the danger that lurks when you're unvaccinated, and how you're really not trying to impose upon them, but you really want to save their lives, right? How do we get past that, as Dynamite Mike say, the hell no wall?
I first of all make sure that relationship is good enough to where you know that I respect you enough to not tell you what to do, but just let you know that you really need to do this. It's something that you really need, and to know that I took it. I was one of the first people to take the vaccine. I'm taking a booster shot, and that it works. I've been, and many just mathematically with probabilities, it's a fact that I have had to been around people that have been positive, and I've been real safe. So my whole thing is that you need to take the shot. You need to protect yourself and your families. And now the big talk is the boosters. I'm trying to. A lot of people are scared to take the boosters. They're a little bit scared about it. They're scared about the side effects. They're scared about a whole bunch of things surrounding the boosters. But I told them just be prepared for it to be something probably twice a year, and we need it. The side effects last a day or two, but the COVID effects may take your life. It may last. It may cause permanent damage. So you have to think about what's the best decision to make for you and others around you, especially your loved ones and friends.
You're talking about doing a cost-benefit analysis, man. Thanks, Fred. Stacey Ingram Ruffin, hey, how you doing?
Is that coming from you, Omar?
No,
The background?
no, I don't have no background.
Somebody else, yeah.
Oh, sorry, you guys. That was me.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, go ahead. You talk about me having a background like that.
Your Hollywood square was lit up.
Yeah, it's always lit. I'm the host. Dr. T, you should know I do this for a living, man. So you don't.
The thing about it is we can spread this word and also have fun. That's a good
and absolutely, and that's what we do. It's like the barbershop.
Mhm.
We really not taking the spirit of the barbershop away from what we're doing.
Right.
When this is not so academic, we're literally not here just to entertain you. We're here to try to save lives and to talk it out. Really, to begin to talk it out. That's critically important. Could we bring Stacey up? Is that possible? Bring Stacey Ingram Ruffin up. Hey, Stacey, how you doing?
All right. How are you guys?
Good. Tell us about what's going on where you are. Tell them where you are and tell them about Rejuvenate Salon and Fitness.
We're live on Facebook, Stacey. We're out to the world.
We're live on Facebook now, so this is another level.
Wait a minute. I didn't know if this was like a recording or not, but everything is going great. And it was so ironic. I just finished doing hair. That's why I'm just getting on. And I was doing hair and my client is not vaccinated. So we had that conversation. And so I told her, I said, I love you, Kendra. I said, but our salon is going to be totally vaccinated. Everyone that comes in here has to show, at least my clients have to show their vaccination card. She said, Stacey, I'm getting vaccinated tomorrow. And I was so excited.
Yeah.
Because she was like one of the ones that just would not do it. And she said that she's right next to our pharmacy. And she said, Stacey, I'm getting vaccinated tomorrow. That's why I'm getting my hair done. And she said, I wasn't going to do it. She said, but my boss said, you need to do it. And then I kept hearing you, and she sees the signs in the salon and everything. Right. And she's getting vaccinated. And that's my last client that is not vaccinated.
All right.
I love it.
All right.
We can be
so
cute
wonderful.
and vaccinated.
That's so wonderful. Stacey, tell them where you are and
we're in Montgomery County, which is right outside of Philadelphia. So we're right here, and we're getting ready for November 8th. So we're going to have a really big showing because we have 3,000 people that live here in our complex where our salon and spa and fitness is. And we have so many people that came down. I mean, so many people. So I'm looking for a great turnout. And I'm just looking to get a DJ now because I'm getting super excited. I want to give the people something.
Stacy,
Yes.
where you're in Philly?
Yes, right. And I'm gonna go right off of Cheltenham Avenue. It's called
Okay.
Windcoat.
Okay, I'm gonna
Yes.
share a great DJ with you. When is your
November
clinic?
8th. November 8th, 1 to 5.
Okay, I'll share DJ with you.
Okay, that will
But
be great.
congratulations. I think I can come sit in your chair now.
Yes,
Absolutely.
yes.
You're
I'm
all
super
vaccinated salon.
Yes,
Absolutely.
super excited. I was like, whoo. I said, I
I'm
mean, I
telling
worked and prayed.
Yes.
Hey,
Wait a minute, Dr. C, let me say one thing. Stacy, I had a young lady this last week and I forgot to ask her, and that's normally a question I ask, have you been vaccinated? So she left her other job 2 weeks ago and came to the salon today. So when she came today, I don't know, I asked her today, was she vaccinated? And she said no. And I said, oh, I apologize. I said, that's one of the questions I should have mentioned to you in our meeting. I said, but our salon is fully vaccinated. I said, so you're going to have to get vaccinated to accept your position. She said, okay, sure, no problem. And I said, why haven't you been vaccinated? She said, I don't know. I just hear a lot of bad things. And I said, well, do you know you're making a decision for your life based on what you're hearing? I said, you need to stay in the know for yourself. I said, you need to read up on it. And I gave her all the information and she made a quick decision as well. I just wanted to share that.
Yes.
And Katrina, that's exactly, I was going to throw the ball to you because Katrina was a hiring and she made that part of her hiring decision. But the young lady said, I'll do it. And she's coming to the clinic on Monday to get her vaccination and her $100 gift card.
Yeah.
Sweetens the pie.
Right. You know, the other thing, you know, obviously we need to have mandates and other things, but do you know, and this is something that's a good news story, is that before the African-American community was the least vaccinated demographic in this country. Now we are equal to Caucasians and even in proximity to the Hispanic community. I think the Hispanic community, Dr. T, correct me if I'm wrong, 73%, the Caucasian community 71, and the African-American community is 70.
Amazing. Amazing. Right now. We've closed the gap. That should be a big news story.
Right,
big
right,
news story.
Right. And so that's and that's attributable to the work that all of you are doing. I mean, and that's so important that we cannot just sit back and say, I'm vaccinated and that's it. No, we have to be very aggressive in really promoting our protection so that we can protect our protection, right?
Right.
That's correct.
So that's what we're doing. So we're protecting ourselves by getting people around us to be protected themselves, and thus we both are protected. We got Shannon Dean. Hey man, what's up? Say hello. Bring him up. I know I shocked him.
He's coming, and then
hey. What's going on?
Hello, everyone. How are you?
Good. Tell us where you are.
I'm in Chicago.
Okay. All right. Windy City.
Yeah. Tell us what's happening up there.
Actually, I had a event October the 2nd. And for the short notice that I had, it turned out pretty good as far as the turnout. One of my barbers, he's a young guy, and he got vaccinated. I had been talking to him for a while, and he decided to get vaccinated. And his first 2 clients, as a matter of fact, that morning they got vaccinated also. So it was pretty good.
Well, you know, one of the things that's important to note is that everybody we get vaccinated, we have potentially saved a life.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we need to look at it from that vantage point, because I know a lot of people talk about, well, you know, it's got to be this big mass vaccination, you know, clinics and all that. You don't have to do that. Every person is worth saving. And so every person that gets vaccinated, we have potentially, right, saved a life. And we need to see it from that vantage point. And so I'm so appreciative of what you all are doing. Tell us about your shop.
The name of my shop is All Access Barber and Beauty Salon. It's on 84th in South Chicago and on the southeast side of Chicago. And that's it.
Yeah, you know what? You know, I'm gonna be your hype man. I'm gonna start really You gotta have more enthusiasm when you talking about, man. Do you know that have a shop where you have it and all of that, man? That's a lot of that's hype, brother.
And short notice, and it turned out to be a great event. Come on, let's give his brother some snaps in the Windy
You're doing
City.
some wonderful things, man. We got to give you some props, baby. I know modesty is fine, but you don't need it here.
Every life counts, my man. Every
Absolutely,
life
man.
counts.
We love you, man, and thank you so much for what you're doing. Really, really, all jokes aside.
Thank you.
Thank
Hey,
you,
Omar, we got Aaron over here.
All right, Aaron.
Omar, I just want to circle back with the conversation we were having earlier. Prior to joining, I was watching the nightly news, and they showed it was hundreds and hundreds of police officers and firefighters. And I know my guy Shannon from Chicago are dealing with the same thing down there, that it's a mandate for police officers to get vaccinated. That's the law. But police officers and firefighters, but especially police officers, they're supposed to be ambassadors of following the law, and they can't have it both ways. And because this is Facebook Live, I just want to encourage folks that when they see that their officers, particularly when it's a mandate, that are not getting vaccinated, just call the department and say, hey, I'd love for you to enforce your policy, because what's going to happen is when these guys pass away, the first thing that they say is they were killed in the line of duty. Mm-hmm. And it's not fair. You can't have it both ways. And I don't mean to create a hysteria or anything, but you can't have it both ways, because it's a mandate. You got to follow the law, especially if you are a police officer. You're an ambassador of following the law. You can't keep taking people into custody because they broke the law, when you're saying, I want to pick and choose when I decide to follow, and it's not correct. And I just want to share that.
Let's take it to another level. I'm glad you raised that issue, because you can put hands on people legally. Then you need to be having some safe hands, right?
There you go.
So you don't need to be giving people COVID while you're trying to enforce the law. Right? Mm-hmm. So you are literally dangerous. Not only is your gun dangerous, you dangerous yourself, right? And you are lethal. You can literally be lethal.
That's right.
In terms of killing someone because of what you did from your job. So I think we need to take it to another level. We need to be able to understand it from that vantage point. So I'm glad you raised that issue. Yeah, absolutely. Let's do this. We talked about that word cloud. Let's go see if we can find it. I know it's somewhere in the clouds.
So the crew in the back. And while you see this, you can still add some words in the chat and they'll add to it. So go ahead and add any other words. You may be influenced by what you see here. Hit return if you hadn't hit return, and they'll add to the words. But Omar, look at this. And let me say this to you. We've been doing this and trainings with medical professionals, public health professionals at NACCHO, grad students. Okay. I am telling you, for the past several months that we've been doing this, the barbershop word cloud is the most encouraging, the most motivating, the most positive of any of the groups I'm talking to you about. And it's, I think, a function of they literally see in real time the impact that they're having. Right. And that's what we see in the cloud.
Right. And if we can keep people in the midst of a pandemic, if we can keep them encouraged, and that's important, is to have courage. And courage don't mean that you're unafraid. Courage means that you act appropriately in the face of fear. Right. And so when we're encouraged, we're doing something to really save lives. Courageous people save lives. And that's what we're doing. And so we're encouraged. We are hopeful. We are determined. We are blessed. We are accountable. We are boosted. That's people, they already got their boost. They're inspired, they're motivated. And this is why, and so for those of you who are out there in Facebook land, put your word in, and we're going to just build this cloud. I just want to continue to build this cloud. You put it in the chat. there, and our people will continue to build a cloud. So everybody who's in the Facebook land, just go on and put your word in, and we're going to be typing it in now, and you're going to see it go as we continue to have our conversation. Let me ask Mike. Mike, you have been really highlighted all over the country. I mean, we've seen you down here in the South and all of that. You've really become quite a celebrity, young man. And so let's talk about your tone and your patience, because you've had to really hone in on how to be patient, how to have the conversation in the space of being a barber, right? How to have that barbershop talk where people get the information properly, but yet and still have the freedom to share their thoughts. How do you navigate that? How do you balance that?
First of all, you have to know the nature of the relationship of the client that you're dealing with. So the history that you share with your clients, of course, they're going to listen to your perspective on any issue that you may have. It just so happens that we've been pushing the vaccine because we need to be vaccinated. So that's been the topic of the conversation for the last year, trying to get people vaccinated. And we've convinced a lot, and some people, they're just still stubborn, and you can't tell them, no, you dummy, you killing people. What are you doing? You can't do that. So you have to take a slice of that humble pie every day. You have to take a deep breath, even when your facts are challenging their nonsense to the nth degree, and it's not making sense, and it's still saying, no, you just have to take a deep breath, and you try the next time when they come back. Your hair grows back, so they're coming back. So when you come back, you're back to the drawing board again, and you just have to keep wiping away the ignorance and keep feeding them the facts, and hopefully they will get it. And
I often wonder this. Dr. T and I talked about it. What if we had a big screen TV up in your shop, and that we were constantly feeding information? And say, for instance, you could go on your phone, and whatever their concerns are, you can type it in on your phone, and up on that big screen TV, it will have the information, the direct information that speaks specifically to his concern. Or what would that be like?
That would be awesome. To get a direct response from a question that's being asked right there in the shop and being answered real time live. That would be awesome. But
right.
Then again, you're still going to have some people that's going to say that's all propaganda that you got. So
right. But then again, then you have to ask them, say, now what basis do you have? Now I'm giving you references. What reference do you have? Don't say Pookie. Right? Let's do that. And Dr. T, you know what I think we should do? Not only should we put it in writing, I think we should have people like Dr. Ritter and Carol and other people actually responding to those questions, speaking to those people, speaking to people, about it. You see what I'm saying? Huh?
No. You are absolutely right, Omar. You're absolutely right. And we got a kind of a version of, in most of the shops, there's multiple TVs. I can only imagine how many TVs are in Andre's shops. And sometimes they're all on different channels. So have one dedicated to the health promotion, disease prevention message that could stream live from the internet. We're looking into what it would take to get those kind of screens into shops, and then the beta test it. Aaron may have already done some of this. If anybody out there has done any streaming on your TVs in your actual shops, that is the pathway to having a tele-wellness. Omar, think about it. Well, tele-wellness in the barbershop.
You could do a stream like we're doing now. We don't have to call it Zoom. And because in some of my shops, I've got the Fire Sticks to cut down on cable bills and things like that. So you need.
Hey, Andre, you bootlegging? You ain't bootlegging, are you?
No,
Hold up.
the Russian that I was using to bootleg, he got arrested. So now I actually have to pay for that too, but it's still cheaper than cable.
You have to pay the bootlegger.
Yeah, but the guy, he's gone. He's gone. But what I'm saying is, just like we're doing right now, this can stream straight into the shop. And it'd be very, very inexpensive to do something like this.
Perfect.
Because Chromecast has a little tool, costs about $30. And if we can pull you up on the internet, you can Chromecast it to all the TVs in all of the shops. As a matter of fact, I've thought about doing this myself, but I've asked you guys, is it okay if I put you guys on TV?
And you can put us wherever you want to put us. I mean, this is important. See, what we're trying to do is get the information out in any way, in any forum that we can get it out. You know, I was just on a Reba Martin show just on last week, and she's a prominent talk show host.
Omar, I want them to hear this from you. Go ahead and bring the cloud down. We'll bring it back later. Go back to the Hollywood Squares. Go ahead, Omar.
But I was on the Reba Martin show, and Stacey, I want you to know that I brought up your situation as well. Let me bring Stacey back up a second, and then I got some other people I want to bring up, but I want to bring Stacey back up because what happened was, oftentimes what we have is we have people who talk about their health. I'm healthy, that I eat right, that I have a good immune system. I have a robust immune system. So therefore, I don't need the shot. I don't need vaccination. And it was Stacey that told us of a personal incident. And I hope it's okay, Stacey, that you talk about it, because I mentioned that on her show, because that really, and she said that she has a lot of people who tell her that. Could you please just tell that story for us, Stacey, please?
Yes. A great friend of mine passed away on last week. He was a vegan, 58 years old, in tip-top shape, no ailments, no diabetes, no heart failure, no anything, just in excellent shape. And he caught COVID. And he told my best friend, which is Zane, he told her right before he died, he told her, he said, "Sissy, if it can kill me, it can kill you." Or the whole family is vegans. And when I say in tip-top shape, they're in tip-top shape. He passed away, but she got vaccinated, but COVID killed him. He had double strokes back to back, and at 58 in tip-top shape, no underlying conditions, and he's gone.
Right. Well, our condolences absolutely go out to you. I know that he was special to you.
Yes, very special.
It really hit you hard.
Yes.
And it's very difficult when you lose people, and it's preventable. I think, Dr. T, I think that's what resonates most with me. Is that every death, with few exceptions, people who die from COVID now, that's a preventable death. And that's what makes it so hard to accept.
Remember when they were describing, and again, it was when the curve was going up, the people in the hospital, in the ICUs are all unvaccinated. The people who were dying were all unvaccinated. As we coming down the curve, it's just all about the curve numbers going down. We're not talking about that anymore. And yet those same people are still as vulnerable as they were when the curve was going up. And our children are vulnerable. This virus is like a heat-seeking missile. That's another metaphor. It will find who is unvaccinated. The last thing you want is for the little ones who can't get vaccinated to get infected because somebody is refusing. And then that little person who can't get vaccinated, who gets infected, but who may not end up in a hospital, infects grandma. And now we have that.
And can I
viruses spread?
Can I say one
absolutely,
thing, you
Stacey,
guys?
go ahead.
was speaking on the little ones. My sister, she's a school teacher, and it's so crazy because she was like Stacy, the 6th grade. Now she teaches K to 8th grade. She's a gym teacher, so she teaches the whole school. So her 6th grade class, the whole 40 of the 6th grade, they all had to leave because 36 of them had COVID. So they had to leave the school. So then now today she told me the 4th graders have COVID. Now the teachers, they said the teachers, because they had to be vaccinated and they get tested every week, that they have to still come to school, even though the kids don't come back till November 8th. But the teachers and everybody has to go, and she teaches all of the kids. So I'm just trying to figure out, she's like sick, but she doesn't have COVID, but she like has a cold. And that can lead, and my sister has every underlying ailment. She's fully vaccinated. But how can we protect things like that with the little kids that can't get vaccinated? But these are 6th graders, and they're 12. So they should be able to be vaccinated, mandatory to be vaccinated, because like I look at my sister, she's in a death trap.
Right.
You
Right.
know,
Dr. Ritter, this is a call for our resident physician. You have to go and get in like Superman or Superwoman and go and change your cape and come on back in and kind of rescue us from this. Tell us about, because I do know that right now there is provisions for the 12 and up, and then of course now the 5 to the 11-year-olds are now being considered. So kind of give us an update on that.
Right. So the 12 and over have been licensed with Pfizer. The 5 to 11 is under the EUA now. So, that's where we were
What's
before.
the EUA? What's that, a new dance?
Emergency use authorization.
Okay, thank you.
So that's where we all were, a year ago. And a lot of people said, oh, I'm not going to get the vaccine because it's not licensed, right? So then it got licensed, and then some people got vaccinated, but some people still didn't. So that was one of the excuses. It's too fast. It's not FDA approved. But that same vaccine now is being tested on 5 to 11-year-olds. Thank goodness. So what was interesting in the pediatric journals, though, for the 12 and over, they're actually looking at the ethics of the pediatrician in the office with their 12 and over patients who want to get vaccinated, but the parents don't want them to get vaccinated.
Right.
Is it ethical for the child to make the decision for themselves?
Yeah. Parental consent kind of issues.
That's
God,
interesting.
that's hard, Doc. That's a hard one.
It's very, very hard, and I think it was Mike Brown who said, you have to know the client, you have to know the history and the relationship and the nature of the person that you're dealing with. And a lot of pediatricians, they see these kids more often than like I do as a gynecologist once a year, but still, year after year after year, you get a relationship. You guys in the office, I don't know how fast your hair grows, but you see them a lot more. Pediatricians do see their children a lot more. So they have a good relationship. So they should be able to make that decision and make, the child is, scared. These kids are afraid that they're going to die when they get a sniffle. And I have an employee whose child wears a mask at school, but the teacher doesn't. And the teacher came up to him. He's the only one in the class that wears a mask. And the teacher came up to him and says, you don't have to wear your mask because I'm vaccinated. And he said, well, that's very nice, but I'm not.
Wow.
He had agency.
The hair grows pretty fast, and even the young ladies who go in and get their hair done at the salons, some people go every week and every 2 weks or once a month. And what I don't understand, Katrina, help me with this. You got something that you call a permanent, but they have to go often. That they should call it a temporary.
Yeah, they need to come in for that permanent color.
We need to come up with something. How you gonna call something permanent and you got to keep going back?
Well,
Stacy,
look,
help me out with that. I mean, y'all
If
calling
they
them
call it,
permanent. They need to call them temporaries. That's what
if
that
they
was.
call it permanent and it's temporary for you, that first of all shows your age, that you need your color and your relaxer system more often than you did before. So that's what that entails, but
Boy, that's funny. All right,
yeah.
here we go. I want to bring some. I got some more people on. Let me see. I see Latia Bridgeworth, fourth. Bridgeworth. Hey, how you doing? Bring Latia up.
There she goes. Latia, you're going to come on up. Oh, unmic yourself, Latia.
Oh, okay.
Hey, how
Can
you
hear
doing?
me? Hi, how you guys doing?
Good. Where you from? Tell us about you and where you are.
Oh, I'm from Baltimore, Maryland.
From Baltimore, Maryland.
Yeah.
She's a home girl, right? You see,
Yeah.
Chris, you just smiling.
Was Chris at your shop today?
Yes, Chris was at my shop today.
Come on, we've been bragging on you. You got the spotlight now. You're on Facebook
Oh.
live streaming. Tell us about it.
What do you want to know?
Well, tell us the name of your shop and where you are.
Okay, so the name of my shop is Epitome Barbershop. It's located in the Bolton Hill area, kind of downtown. Is it located at 1111 Park Avenue, Baltimore, Maryland 21201?
I mean, so you really laid it out, so we know exactly where you are. Okay, now tell us what's happening. Tell us about what's happening in the conversations about getting vaccinated. Are you still seeing hesitancy, or where are people generally speaking?
It's split. I have some clients that are really, really focused and really, really for the vaccination, and have family members with underlying conditions and so on and so forth. And so they are really, really for it. And then I have some clients that are just still skeptical. And they have some outrageous types of beliefs with it, but
like what? Give us what are people saying that's the most outrageous you've heard?
Well, the most outrageous is what me and Chris was, and somebody told me that the Illuminati.
What?
Yeah, that's
with a straight
behind
face.
the vaccine.
With a straight face. They were serious.
Okay, that's
Wow.
the first for me, Illuminati. That's the first.
Yeah,
right?
Yes.
I've heard a lot of things. Now the Illuminati got it, right? And
Yes.
so the Illuminati is going to vaccinate the whole world, right?
No, they pushing it. They pushing it.
So the Illuminati.
Now,
is
why
pushing
they pushing it? I haven't gotten that part.
it. So do they know what the Illuminati is?
Probably not.
You know, so all right. So the Illuminati. Anything else, Latia?
No, there just be open conversations. And the only thing that I do is I urge them. I always keep the information and the literature up in the shop. So I always just urge them to educate themselves and to find out about the information, go more in depth. And then, I've been inviting people to the vaccination clinic that's coming up. So that they, when they feel themselves being skeptical, or they feel like it's things that they're unsure of.
Well,
And
I
Latia,
want
they
you to
get-
know we're so proud of you, Latia, and what we want to do is support you, right? So
Mhm.
whatever you need us to do, you need to know that you have friends out here, right?
Okay.
And that we're supporting you, right? And we appreciate you. Kristen, want to say something?
Thank you.
Chris, go ahead and brag on Latia, Chris.
Hey, the name of her shop is Epitome Barbershop, and this young lady is just that. She's the epitome of what we're looking for Maryland barbers and stylists, for the hair network, for just to be epitome for good health, a good role model for health. She's an anchor in her neighborhood. People have popped their head in just to say hello as I've been in shop. Family in shop, and out of all the shops that I go to, every time I go to her shop, there's always a client in her seat, and they're more than willing to engage in the conversations that we have. We've gone ahead and birthed and started a YouTube channel where we actually record our conversations. for Maryland Barbers and Stylists United. And if you all visit that link, you'll get to see the weekend conversations that Miss Latia and I have had. I mean, she's opened up her shop. She's opened up her heart. And you know what? The thing that really strikes me about this is not about the money. It is not about the money. She cares. She wants to get it. You walk in her shop. The collateral that we leave her is not only steadily reducing, meaning that it's being distributed, but it's still neat. It's not on the ground. It's thank you for that, Sarah. Appreciate that. It's not on the ground. It's there. And we need her and more people like her. Dr. Thomas, I'd just like to thank you for the opportunity just to pair me up with such caring individuals. I'm lost for words. Miss Latia, you had a photo shoot today, a professional photo shoot today.
Yeah, yes. I did it too. She was
Tell us about the photo shoot, Latia.
Yeah.
She was so nice. She took so many nice photos of the shop and, you know, and of the literature and of Chris and I engaging, and she recorded us, you know, our conversations, and, you know, the pictures were very nice. She did a really good job.
So her name is Soraya Khan, and you've met her, Omar. She's been with us before.
Absolutely.
But look at this combination, Chris, Latia. It all happened today. Let's give them a hand. Let's give them some
absolutely
all
wonderful.
around.
This is fabulous.
And
wonderful.
we can't wait to make the rounds around the country to come visit the shops, profile you guys. And at some point, Omar, we need to bring everybody together, be our national conference.
Right. That's what we're going to do.
Safe.
And, you know, that's we're gonna have our national conference, and hopefully we'll have it in person and not virtual, because everybody's going to get their vaccinations, and we're going to get back to some sense of normalcy. I mean, I really want to hug folk again. I mean, I need a hug, Latia. I just need a hug.
I have to tell people when they come, they got to be ready. It's like a contact sport. Right now, people bumping with the fist and the elbow, but you know, everybody want to hug.
We want, you know, I'm telling you, that's what we got to do. All right, you know, Dr. T, you know, we have 18 minutes down the hour of 8 o'clock where you are, 7 o'clock where I am. And so we got just about, 12 minutes before we have to call it a day. I can't go nowhere without going back to my man, Dynamite Mike Brown. Right. And Mike, you know, what we got to do is this. I'm convinced that we have to support each other in this. I mean, because people can get weary in well-doing, right?
No question.
And so even as we get people who are, you know, promoting, you know, the vaccine and all of that, we have to protect them and their spirits too, because when you get rejected, particularly by, you know, people that you care about, you know, that bothers you. That really weighs on your spirit, because you know that they're vulnerable. And so that's a disheartening thing, is to know somebody that you love, that you can't convince, you can't tell them that that danger is lurking, and you know it is. And that's a hard thing. So that how do we keep our spirits up in the midst of this pandemic?
Well, for me, I'm definitely faith-based. So I like to use the scriptures for strength. And I realize that some people are just going to have the heart of Pharaoh. And you saw what his demise was when he just wouldn't bend. And then he found he died. And Egypt was conquered. The sea swallowed him up. I mean, everything. I mean, so some people are just going to have that faith. You know, so we just got to keep pushing to the ones that can have an open heart and an open mind, and the seed can be planted, and then the rest can be cultivated by the energy. We just keep feeding into it, and that's where I stand. You just gotta keep taking the deep breath and keep going the next day, because some people are just going to have the heart of Pharaoh, and that's just it.
And the church said,
Amen.
Amen.
Thank you. Thank you. Hey, well, let me go back. I gotta go back to Fred. Fred, I know that you're in the shop and you're doing your thing. I hope you can hear me. Fred Spry, can you hear me? He may have me on mute. No, he's up. Bring Fred up. Sharon, you know, we can't let you go without bringing Sharon back up. We can't let you go without, you know, seeing what your thoughts are. You know, you're hanging out with us. Tell us what your thoughts are. Where do we go from here, chaos or community?
I'm inspired, and it's wonderful with this collaborative framework that has come to fruition, working with community partners, understanding the role that this cannot be done by a single agency, but it takes collaboration, it takes commitment and dedication, which I see all around this table, or I call it table, but that I see. So, and working with those community partners, it's just advancing these initiatives. It's just a pleasure to be a part of this and just to know of it. And so thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for all you do. And, you know, we love and appreciate you. And I think it's important that we let people know that, you know, we give them their flowers while they can see them and smell them. And that's critically important.
Thank you. You inspired me, all of you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Absolutely. Latia, you know, what's your closing comment? You know, we spotlighting you, young lady. You got it going on.
Unmute yourself, Latia.
Unmute yourself. Right. There you go.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. So I just want to thank everybody. Well, thank you for all your nice comments, and thank you for involving me in it and choosing me to be a part of this initiative, because I didn't think that I did anything special, but all the praises.
Unmute yourself.
Unmute yourself again.
Pick up on praise. Pick up on praise.
Go ahead. You said all the praises, so started praises.
I said, thank you. And I just appreciate it for, you know, just making me a part of this.
Yeah. Well, you are a part of it, and we appreciate you. Let's give her some snaps. Absolutely. We love you. And that smile you have. You know, if the sun don't come out, you go out and smile and the world is lights up, you know.
Thank you.
You got Brother Fred back.
Fred, hey Fred, man, you know, don't don't grind nowhere. So, hey Fred, what's the closing comment, man?
We got to continue to push and push. We got to smash the gas. We got to let them know. We got to just kill them with the facts. And the facts is needed. You can't believe what you see on the internet, what you hear from people that's uneducated or not, and don't know what time. It's a big difference always between knowing and not knowing. And always remember that 1% of doubt can always mess up 99% of facts. And that's what's taking place with those that are unvaccinated, those that are scared still, that are not vaccinated by, we're talking about November 2021, with the numbers rising of deaths. I have 11 people that are in my phone, locked in, saved, that are no longer with us due to COVID, are dead. I have over 200 some buddies of mine that were affected by COVID. A big percentage of them are still have long-term effects from being sick. And this is just something that we just gotta sit back and we gotta be grown-ups and make good decisions and do the right thing, like Spike Lee.
Thank you, man. Now, you know, give it some snaps, man. You got, I'm telling you, what a way to end it up. Chris Sherlock Holmes, tell us what the closing is, man. This is, you know, you are an integral part of what we do, and we'd like to thank you, Chris, for what you're doing. Your boots on the ground for us, man. You're where the rubber hits the road, and so we cannot thank you enough. You know, they see us up here, you know, hosting and moderating, but you know, you're where the rubber hits the road, man. And so we love and appreciate you.
Well, thank you very much for that. Sometimes things you don't have to, it's no words to describe it. All I can say is just, I want to thank everyone here. I just want to thank you all for your wisdom. Thank you for your time. Just thank you for your commitment. Just seeing all the players that are in place, just they're handpicked by, that's divine. It's meant to happen. We're meant to be in this space at this time for this reason. To be in shop and feel Miss Katrina's energy, to go in shop and not even met Dynamite and missed him by mere moments and was able to leave him collateral, but still felt his energy, still saw his presence, still saw his COVID awareness. It's gratifying. So all I can say is thank you, Dr. Ritter, just always there, always available. I can't wait till we all meet.
Yeah.
I can't wait till we all meet. Thank you all.
Thank you. Love you, man. Love you so much.
Love y'all as well.
Absolutely. Good. Snaps. Give my man some snaps
Come
for
on.
what he's doing. Absolutely. Good.
He's in some tough neighborhoods too.
Yeah. Well, every neighborhood tough. If you don't know the neighborhood, I go into some places, some boardrooms was tough. From the streets to the suites, man, we know how to handle that. So don't matter where you are. All right, Dr. Ritter, writing it down. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead, Dr. Ritter.
I'm writing all your Omarisms down, and I'm going to present that to you when we meet in person someday. But
Absolutely.
Chris says it's so lovely. I come here because you guys lift me up. I mean, my community isn't lifted up right now, and it's the ground community that we're rebuilding our healthcare from. This is going to be long-term. This is going to be forever. You guys are critical to getting us through the finish line here in this marathon pandemic. So thank you.
Thanks so much, Dr. Ritter. Let's give Dr. Ritter some snaps. She's right there with us all the time. We love her so much. She's such a resource. We could not ask for more than having Dr. Ritter as part of our team. All right, let's go to Dr. T, to you, and then I'll wrap it up.
Let's see, we got 2 minutes, right?
Yeah.
Just real quick, Hotlanta. Andre, give us a take home, Andre. Then I'm gonna throw the ball back to Omar.
I just want to say it's hard to follow Chris Sherlock. So I'm just going to say, let's keep up the good work, and we'll see you guys whenever you pass through Atlanta. Chris, I know that's going to be a long drive for you, but
we may put him on a plane.
I am vaccinated. I hop on a plane.
Yeah,
Good.
but you guys aren't going to lose me, and Mayor, it's on you.
So let me say, I wanted Andre. Think about it. He's been consistent every time, Omar.
Yeah.
I want to say this for my close. I'm looking at this word cloud, and the biggest word on here is encouraged. That's what I am. Right. It's not about the money. It's not about the numbers. It's about what we're doing. If we keep doing it, we will get a following. From now on these Thursdays, we will be here and we will stream live on Facebook. So if you have a Facebook account, visit the University of Maryland School of Public Health Facebook page, like it, and that way, when we go live, your friends will know that we're on. And let's see if we can use this social media platform to actually do some good. How about that? We can actually do some good.
Absolutely.
Omar, you got the floor, buddy.
Thank you so much. And I'd like to thank each and every one of you for your sharing today. I'd like to thank our new Facebook Live audience for hanging out with us. My comments as I close today is going to be kind of like a woman's miniskirt. It's going to be short enough to get your attention, but long enough to cover the subject. So so let's let me do this. Mike, you love that, all right?
I'm not even going to write that one down.
That's
welcome to Facebook.
Welcome to Barbershop Talk.
Let me do this. Let me say how critically important it is that we don't get weary in well-doing. we really have to keep our eyes on the ball. We cannot spike the ball at the 30-yard line because that's not a touchdown. That's a fumble. And we are not yet finished with COVID. COVID is not finished with us. And we do know that different variants are being developed all around the world now that could very well elude our protection. And so what we have to do is to make sure that we are intentional about getting the people around us vaccinated. We choose to call it community immunity, meaning that we're going to protect ourselves by making sure that everybody around us is protected. Therefore, everyone around us is vaccinated. It's not rocket science. Doesn't require a PhD or any other degree. What you just have to know, in order to live this life, just be. And what be means is that just be who you are. We're not human doings. We're human beings. So let's be and get vaccinated today. And as always, I'd like to leave you with these 2 words. Remember that I love you with a perfect love. But more importantly, remember this. You got the power. Till next week, same time, same
You
station.
got the
Have a wonderful
power.
day. Bye-bye.
Be
Bye-bye.
safe out there. Bye-bye.
Bye.